Last class we discussed about linked list. So I'll continue the topic. So this is some little bit big topic. So that means it will come to the end of that unit. Okay. So the linked list it is just like a uh, train. It consists of nodes. So every node is a type of structured data type. So the structure is a user-defined data type. Already you might read in C language. Structured data type we are using here for creating the node. So node is a structure type, struct node. That is why we are using the code struct node in the program. Okay. So single linked list look like this. So it consists of starting address for every linked list. It consists of starting node. That is the head node. So here it is the data next. Data next. Then double linked list here. Double linked list is like this. So the double linked list consists of previous node and next node. That means predecessor node and successor node. Right? So the predecessor node, successor node consists of two arrows. What is that? Two arrows it consists of. Okay, here already I told you the double linked list consists of three parts. Here one thing you remember, here the data field consists of all the data you should write or you can give or you can store different fields in this data field. For example, I am storing only one integer value. For example, if you want to store an employee details or student detail consists of how many fields? For example, roll number, name, section, or different fields are there. So you should cover all these relevant particular fields in this data part only. So, but we are having only we are storing only single value, just for a simplicity. Or in big projects, we can store all type of particulars in data field only. Okay, that thing you remember. So not single value here. So there might be different fields in data, but everything is in data. It is consists of just a link to the next node. That's it. That is the next field. So for a double linked list also same thing. But double linked list consists of three fields. That means three parts. First one is previous node and second one is data node and third one is next node. So in algorithms, we may use different names, but the implementation is same. It will not change. That is called as an algorithm. We can use any type of names, but the logic may differ, but the implementation is same. That is called as an algorithm. We can write in any way. Different programmers will write different logic, different names, not an issue. But implementation will not change. It will give the same output. Okay. So 2 plus 3 plus 5, that is some result. Or 3 plus 2 plus 5, that is also same. 3 plus 2 plus 5 or 5 plus 3 plus 2. Whatever the values, you can add at any position, result will not change. Based on the mindset of the user or the based on the mindset of the student, you may calculate at any style. Here also same formula will applicable. Okay. Now here the previous node start with the start node, that means head node, and after that we can transfer the data in both directions. So by that time I'll explain you clearly. Just I am showing here. Now this is the circular linked list. So in circle way we can transfer the data. Okay, that's it. Now see single linked list. Already told you. Just wait, students. I'm sharing the document. Okay. Okay, see this. Operations on single linked list. So see your syllabus first of all. So introduction already finished. Single linked list also. Now we are seeing representation of memory, linked list in memory also we finished. Now operations on single linked list. Okay. So after that insertion, deletion, searching, traversing. So I don't know. Okay, so these are the operations that we can perform on single linked list. There are nearly more than 10 operations we can perform, but in your syllabus, only few operations are there. So the first operation is inserting a new node into a linked list. So for example, in array, what is going to happen? So for example, after you store the values into an array, let me show you the example so that you can clearly understand. So if it is an array, let me draw this. If it is an array consists of, for example, some elements, for example, 3, 4, 2, 7. So these are my elements. If I want to add an element instead of 20 here, so if I want to add an element instead of 20 here, instead of 4, I want to insert 20 in an array. It is an array. So what should I do? Simply, I want to shift the positions. I want to shift the positions. First of all, it will come to new position and it will come to this position, or will come to second position, like that. So in that way, we should move the positions. After that, then only it is possible to insert the element. So in this way, 20 is there. In this way, 4 is there. In this way, 2 is there. In this way, 7 is there. So if we want to delete any item, we should move the positions left direction and right direction. So if you want to add this, you can move the positions into right direction. Likewise, for example, if you want to replace the value, that thing you should observe here. So simply we are losing that value otherwise. So it is the problem of array, but linked list, it is not like that. So in linked list, it is simply just I'll draw here. I'll take a fresh page. Here observe. So this is the head node. This is the head. So this is the head node, first of all. So for time saving, I'm not drawing neatly. Just you pick it up. Just actually, these are called rectangular boxes. So, for example, here it is the location 1004. This is value A, for example. I'm writing here alphabets. Whatever I can write, I can store. Not a problem. Here, see, this is called B. So here, some having some memory location. 2008. So the memory locations here I'm taking are not sequential. These are random. I can take any memory locations. That is the advantage. So the linked list will take the dynamic memory allocations based on the demand. It will increase or it will decrease. That means we can insert or we can delete at any position simply without disturbing the other. So here, this is the 5006. So for example, this is the end of the list. Okay. So now arrow mark. This is arrow mark. So just I'm drawing very versely. So try to understand. Already you know the structure of linked list. Okay. So see here, actually, the 1004 location is the 2008 location is stored in this. This is 2008. So this 2008 location is stored in this address of the A. This is the node 1, for example. This is the node 2. And this is the node 3. These are the 3 nodes that the linked list having. So in the node A, in the node 1, the data is A section data is stored. In the data, in the node 2, B section data is stored, and the data 3, C section data is stored here. Okay. Now see, actually this 1004 location is stored in this head. First of all, the memory is allocated to the head node, that is the start node, that we can call it as a temp in the program. Okay. So for head node, 1004 is allocated. That 1004 is stored in, that means A. After that, 2008 is stored in first node. That will link to the next node. So that means the address of second node is stored in part of A. That means 2008 memory location is stored in here. So it will pointing to the same data type, that is called structured data type. Structure is a user-defined data type. Okay. So 2008 memory location is stored in B. The next location is, for example, the C location is stored in B. At the same time, C location is stored in B. If there is any next node, that node address will be stored in C. That means the previous node, the next node address is available in the previous node. That is how the representation will be in the memory. Okay, just here see the example. If you want to add an element at the beginning, so beginning also possible, ending also possible, middle also possible, at specific location also possible. These are the 4 possibilities. You see here. So insertion is possible at starting. So inserting a node, new node in a linked list, that consists of inserting a node at beginning. That means starting of the list. Inserting a node at ending of the list. After that, inserting a new node inserted after a given node. That means any node. So if you give in that example, we are having 3 nodes, A, B, C. For example, A is the, before A is the starting node, after C is the ending node. For example, before B is new node is inserted before a given node. That means before B. So this is for a new node inserted after B. That is the example. So in anywhere we can insert the new node. So based on the demand. For example, A section, B section, and C section. Between these three sections, I want to add online section. That is called AB section. That is another section I want to insert. So in the time, is it array is possible? Array is not possible. Why? It is static and fixed size. But here the advantage is in linked list is we can insert any number of nodes. For example, if you want to develop major projects, that is university database. So university database consists of how many colleges? Nearly hundreds of colleges. Each and every college having different branches. So different branches having 4 years. 4 years having different subjects. So the university database, if you want to develop university database project, how it will look like, it is very, very complex projects. So if you want to develop such type of projects, we can use linked lists instead of arrays. Arrays are simply used for simple type of projects, and the accessing elements is very fast and it is very easy compared to linked list. But it is time taking for larger projects. That is very important. You should remember. So, but if it is a linked list, easily you can insert at anywhere. Insert and delete. Now we are inserting a new node in the linked list. First of all, we'll see. Don't be confused. We are performing some particular operations on linked list. First operation is insertion. So insertion is also possible in 4 different cases. So these are the 4 different cases that I have shown you. Okay, first of all, we'll see algorithm for every case, and I'll show you the example also. So after the completion of all these example, I'll give you the program for this. Okay. So if you clearly understand this one, easily you can understand the program implementation. Otherwise, you may not. So it will take a little bit time. I'll go very slow. So if you have any doubt, let me stop. First of all, let me stop. Then I'll tell. Otherwise, it may not be useful to you. So before we describe the algorithm to perform insertion in all these 4 cases, let us first discuss an important term called overflow. So water flow, overflow. So overflow is a condition that occurs when AVIL available equals to null or no free memory cell is present in the system. When this condition occurs, the program must give an appropriate message. For example, in everyone's house, there is a motor for water purpose. Okay. So after your overhead tanks get filled, what will happen? Simply your water will overflow. Immediately, your parents will turn off your motor. So if it is a overflow, okay. So there is no space to fill the water tank, fill the water with the fill the tank with the water. So here also same thing. If the memory space is not sufficient, for example, if we are allocating the memory based on the allocation only, we can extend the nodes. For example, if we allocate the memory for only particular nodes, you should not add the new nodes. For example, here for every node, it is for example, if it is an integer type of node, it will occupy 2 bytes of memory. So that memory is also nowadays the compilers are very powerful, and it is if it is a 16-bit compiler, it will occupy 2 bytes for integer type. If it is a 32-byte compiler, it will occupy 4 bytes for the integer type of data. So based on this memory only, the nodes insertion is possible. That thing you should check before the adding the new node. Okay. If it is null, that means no space is available, so that we cannot add new node. So allocation of memory is very, very important. So how we can allocate memory? So what are the memory reference operators in C language? Already you might read. What are the memory reference? How we can allocate memory to the function or in the variable sections? There are some memory reference allocators are there, some functions. What are them? Malloc, cloc, free. These are not the memory reference operators in C language. Yes. Okay. So malloc, some people may call it as malloc, or whatever it is, same. malloc, realloc, calloc. Okay. By using the malloc function, we can allot the memory for these nodes. So in programming, it will come. That is why I'm telling here. Okay. So if there is no memory, it is not possible. That thing you need to check the condition before every inserting the new node. Okay, first of all. So the first case is the new node inserted at the beginning. Okay, new node inserted at the beginning of a linked list. Okay, see here. So for example, suppose you want to add a new node with the data 9. So the node, I am having a node 9. So I want to add that node at the beginning of the linked list. So my beginning node is what here 1. So I want to add data 9 field as the first node of the list. So see here how it will look like. So allocate memory for the new node and initialize it with data part to the 9. Okay. So first of all, we'll allocate the memory space for that node. After that, simply buying a ticket. That means like in a train ticket. If it is an available, if the tickets are available, simply you buy the ticket and you do the journey like that here also. So just allocating the memory with reference operators. So that means malloc, and you can add it. So what is the logic for adding a new node at the before? So add the new node as the first node of the list by making the next part of the new node contains the address of the start. So generally the first node address is initialized at start node, that is the head node. Now at the starting node 9 is there. So 9 address will be allocated to that start node. Simply you can insert it. So this is the 9 node. Instead of start we are giving 9. That's it. So the X is the end of the list. Shows the algorithm to insert a new node at the beginning of a linked list. First step, we first check whether the memory is available or not. Okay, frame memory is exhausted, then overflow printed. Otherwise, free cell is available. Then we add space for new node. That means data part will be given value, and the next part initialized with address of the first node of the list. Already I told you, which is stored in the start. Instead of start, 9 is there. That means in the step 2, set new node equals to avail. Set value avail equals to value to the next. Next means that will point to the next node. These are the steps. So malloc and calloc, these are the functions for allocating the memory to the new node. Okay, every time you need to allocate the memory for every insertion, because we don't know first what type of how many nodes are inserted. Okay, based on our insertion, we will allocate the memory for every node. Otherwise, it will not take. So that is the inserting before. Very simple. So see the logic here. This is the algorithm for writing the node, inserting the node at beginning. If available is null, that means it is a overflow condition. That means no space in the linked list. Go to step 7. That means exit. It is not possible to insert. Okay. So otherwise, set new node equals to avail. So that means we create a new node. That means temper start. Set value equals to next. That means in that new node, you give data to that data as a value. After that, you assign new node to the start. Set start equals to new node. That's it. This is the algorithm. So the same algorithm will be applicable for the remaining, just a little bit change. Okay. Instead of start node, last node is the pointing node. So suppose you want to add a new node with data 9 at the last. So what will be the procedure? See here, allocate the memory at the same time, same process, but take a pointer variable PTR with points to start. Start and PTR. Move PTR so that it points to the last node of the list. So what is the last node here? 5 is the last node. So add the new node after the node pointed by PTR. This is done by storing the address of the new node in the next part of the PTR. So one by one, link will pass to the next node. So simply insert the node to the file. So this is the ending of the list. See here, in the step 6, we take a pointer variable PTR and initialize it with start. So this is the initialization start. So PTR now points to the first node of the linked list. In the while loop, we traverse through the linked list to reach the last node. So this will gives to this one, this will gives to this one, up to it will reach to here only. We change the next pointer of the last node to store the address of the new node. That is 9. So after reaching the last node, it is the end of the list. That means it will stop. That is the end of the list adding. So the algorithm is a little bit different. Inserting a node after a given node in a linked list. That means after B or after middle. For example, there are, see here, in the above example. So this is beginning and this is ending. So in the middle of any node, we can insert a new node. That is a node before or a node after. This is the thing here. So for example, if I want to add a new node after 2, or otherwise if I add a new node before 2, this is the condition. I hope you understood this. Okay, so I want to add a node before 2 or after 2, or otherwise before 4, after 4, or otherwise before 6 or after 6, or before 5 or after 5, before 3 or after 3. In any position, if I want to add, this is the procedure. So I'll show you the procedure. First of all, after a node. Okay, students. See here. So I want to add an element after a given node. For example, for this you need to take two variables. That is PTR pointer. Some may take temp or some may take previous node or pre-node, whatever it is, same. So you may take any value variables. So PTR and start, PTR and pre-PTR or previous. So the predecessor node is the previous node and successor node is the after node. Okay. Now here PTR now points to the first node of the linked list. Already in the previous example, I have shown you. So first of all, PTR point to the first node of the linked list, that is start. Then we take another pointer variable pre-PTR. So which will be used to store the address of the node preceding PTR. So the PTR and pre-PTR both will be used for storing the new variable here. That is address part and the data part. So initially pre-PTR is initialized to PTR. Now PTR and pre-PTR and start all are pointing to the first node of the list. So after these three variables are initialized to start, it will move and so on, the element will reach. So where is the empty element? After reaching, the new node will be inserted after this node. Once we reach this node, we change the next pointer in that node. So that is the C here. If you want to add a list after 4, for example, So pre-PTR, PTR, and start and pointer. All these initialize to start mode. After initializing in the traversing mean from starting onwards, it will come like this. So it will come after 4 here. So this is the new link added. So here after 4, the value will be placed. So in the implementation of linked list, you can clearly understand this concept. Okay, you don't bother about this. So in the implementation part, I'll give you clear explanation how practically it will add a node. Okay, this is inserting node before a given node, just simply the reverse of the after node. Okay, for example, see here. So 9 is there. I want to add the 9 after 7 and before 3. I want to add the value 9 after 7 and before 3. So what is the procedure here? The start PTR and pre-PTR. Move PTR and pre-PTR until the data part of PTR. That means value of the node before which insertion has to be done. So move PTR and pre-PTR. PTR and pre-PTR consists of what? Address and data field. So both will move from starting onwards until you find the new element. So where it will find? Between 7 and 3. So it will stop here. So PTR will always points to the node just before PTR. So it will stop between 7 and 3. So where is the node here? 7 and 3 is there. So between 7 and 3, 9 is placed. So manually we can directly draw diagram. For example, you need not follow any logic for humankind, but system don't know where to initialize, where to insert, where to delete. For that only, we will write a program understand by the compiler. By manually, we can directly insert a value. Directly, we will provide a space, and in that place, you directly can write. But system doesn't know this procedure. It is based on, it is worked on the instruction instructed by the programmer. What we have given the instruction, based on that instruction only, it will work, machine will work. So the machine is instruction based. So we don't, the compiler doesn't know all these process manually, but we know. So instead of 9, or before 9 or after 3, I can insert manually. But the compiler, we should write and we'll give everything pin to pin. Then only it will insert. Otherwise, it will show an error. Okay. Here we take a point of PTR and initialize it with start. Everything is we should initialize with start. That is the head node. That means every compartment is initialized with engine. Right? So every compartment is leading by the engine. But with the help of this, the help of its previous compartment. So the PTR now points to the first node of the linked list. Okay. Then we take another pointer variable pre-PTR and initialize it with PTR. So already PTR points to first node. That PTR again initialized by PTR. Now PTR and pre-PTR and start are all pointing to the first node of the linked list. So that means starting node. So in while loop, we will traverse this linked list to reach the node that has its value equal to number. So it will traverse from starting onwards. You can find the empty node so that we can place that value. In that position, we change the pointer value. That's it. So that is up to, this is the algorithm. First of all, we'll see availability equals to null. If it is null, simply process will be terminated. That means it will exit. No need to create a list. That's it. So after that, set new node equals to availability. Okay, availability is there. Then set availability equals to next. Next point is there. Next it will point to next. Set new node equals new node of data equals to value. That means we'll assign a value to that new node. So a new node consists of data field and next field. Next field is what? Link field. That is address field. Okay. Set PTR equals to start. Pre-PTR equals to PTR. Repeat this process 8 and 9. PTR data not equals to number. So until it will matches, it will check the match. Where it will find the data, it will be stopped there. After end of the loop, pre-PTR next is point to next node, new node. That new node will become the pointer node. After that, it will exit. So this is the algorithm for inserting a new node. So directly, you can easily insert any node at any position, but algorithmically, it is little bit confusing. Whatever it is, if you want to add, the first condition is what? First of all, you need to check availability. If availability is null, it is not possible to insert a new node because no sufficient memory is there. If memory is available, so just simply assign that PTR to start node. After that start node, PTR, you initialize another variable that is pre-PTR. So the pre-PTR assigned to PTR. So all these three will assign to the start node. So after that in the while loop, it will traverse the list until it will reaches the empty node. So in the implementation, you can find it very clearly. Okay, that is the case for inserting the elements. After that, deleting. So that is the insertion of single linked list. Next, deletion, searching, traversing, reversing. These are the next 4 operations. And the next one is deleting a node from the linked list. So just I'll stop with this example because you will confuse all these if I tell you in same class. So the next operation is deletion operation. So deletion operation is you want to delete a node from a given linked list in 3 cases. First one is the first node is deleted and the last node is deleted. Node after a given node is deleted. That means in the previous example, you may delete node 1, that is starting node, or you may delete node last node, 5 node. Otherwise, in third case, you may delete node after 1, or you that in that case, what node will be deleted? 7 will be deleted. If we want to delete a node after 7, what will be deleted? 9 will be deleted. So in that case, every node having possibility to delete. Okay. So actually, first node is deleted and last node is deleted. Remaining, any other node is also deleted. Right? So these are the 3 cases. In these 3 cases, first let us discuss an important term that is called underflow. So what is underflow? In a water bottle, there is no water. Is it possible to drink water? No. Why? Because the bottle is empty. The empty condition is called as an underflow condition. Underflow means there is no water. That means here there is no node in that linked list. That is the thing. If you want to delete a message, first of all, at least the message should be created. Otherwise, deletion operation is not possible. When the creation is there, then only deletion is possible. Without creation, without deletion, there is no deletion. Here also same thing. First of all, if you want to add a new node, you need to check whether the stack is overflow or not. But if you want to delete a node from the linked list, first of all, we should check the condition whether the node is, the linked list is underflow or not. Underflow means there is no node in the linked list. So if no node is there, is deletion possible? No. That thing you need to check here. So underflow is a condition that occurs when we try to delete a node from a linked list that is empty. This happens when start equals to null. In this way also. If it is a null, when there are no more nodes to delete. Note that when we delete a node from a linked list, we actually have to free the memory occupied by that node. So after deletion of that node, we can free up the space also. The memory is written to the free pool so that it can be used to store other programs and data. This is an added advantage of linked list. If you want to delete the nodes here, see, if you want to delete 7, 9, 3, 4, 6, so only the nodes are 1 to 5. So instead of the deleted nodes, you can store other nodes or you can reserve the memory space also. So the memory wastage will be saved here. But in the another point of view, memory is wasted due to usage of pointers. That is another thing also. Okay. Anyway. Okay. Deletion. Whenever the case of deletion, we always change available pointer so that it points to the address that has been recently vacated. That is important. The deleting the first node from a linked list. So if you want to delete a node, you need to check the linked list is empty or not. That means avail equals to null. Availability equals to null or not. Avail means availability. AVAIL. So you can use any names. Any names means meaning not meaningless names. Okay. So for addition, we can use add or addition or total. Okay. If you use any of three, any one of three, you can get the output for addition operation. Likewise, when we want to delete a node from the beginning of the list, the following procedure is followed. Okay. So this is the list. I want to delete an item, delete the node from the given list. So first of all, delete the first node. What is the first node here? One is the first node, right? So in the given linked list, one is the first node. I want to delete the first node. So what is the procedure? Delete the first node from a list. In step one, we check if the list is empty or not. Okay, it is not empty. So we can proceed further. So however, if there are nodes in the linked list, then we use a pointer variable PTR. That is set to point to the first node of the list. Okay, we'll continue the remaining topic in next class so that it will not sufficient time also. Okay, I'll explain in the next class. You may leave.